Okay, so we're going to start this morning on our backs. What I want you to do is take your block or pillow, take your feet, and this is optional if you don't want to do this elevated, that's fine. In kind of a raised Baddha Konasana, so your feet are on the block, any level, the soles of the feet come together, and you kind of have to play with the splay here, and then just lay down for a second. So your feet are elevated in Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet press together. Most importantly, you want your back, your low back on the ground. And then this is great for the groin. So just let the thighs drop open. Unless something doesn't feel good, then you take the elevation of this out. Turn the palms open and just take 3 cycles of breath. Just connect to your breath right here. Your eyes can stay open or they can shut. Good, and then you're just gonna take your feet, just kick the block forward, you'll need it in a little bit. Take the feet directly down to the ground, create a little mountain with your knees. Draw your arms forward, you know I love these. Draw the arms forward, lift from the shoulder blades and your neck, keep it long. So there's a scooping out of your belly and your feet are anchored. Same thing, your lower back stays down. Then lift the legs on any level that works for you. So if your lower back feels sensitive this morning or you just don't want to work as hard, the legs are going to go straight up and down, just so you know. Okay, angled is more challenging. Keep the lift to the shoulders, lower the feet, lift higher, but when you lift higher, scoop out your belly more, exhale the breath, let it go. So the goal of this morning's practice is to link our breath with movement. Here we go, pull ourselves up, lift the legs on an angle, any direction that works for you. Lower the feet down, anchor them, lift higher with your core. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull yourself up. Lift the legs on an angle. Lower the feet down, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Keep going, pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Lower your feet down, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Here we go. Lift yourself up, legs on an angle, pause. So as you pause here, lower your legs a little or bring them up to a 90-degree angle, it's up to you. Bend your right leg. So you're gonna just bend your right leg. The leg can be up like this or it can be more on an angle. Yeah, slide the right leg forward. Keep the lift of the shoulders. Bend your left leg in, any angle that works for you. Slide the left leg forward. Bend your right leg in. Reach it forward. Keep reaching. Bend the left leg in. Reach the left leg forward. Lower the heels and tap them. Lift them back up. Bend the knees. Lift a little higher. Good morning, guys. Exhale the breath, let it go. Okay, give your knees a squeeze. Rock and roll up to a tabletop position. Stack yourself like this. Your shoulders go directly underneath your wrists. So when I go tabletop, it's actually my alignment's slightly different than down dog. My down dog position with my hands a little wider. Bring them directly underneath. Curl the toes into the mat and stack the knees directly underneath the hips. Good. Slide the right leg out like a half plank. So engage the lower belly. Feel your outer arms fire up. Your gaze moves forward. Float the right leg up so now it's hip height. So focus on breath and movement. Slide the left arm forward like we're shaking hands. Now when you reach your left arm forward, remember your hand and palm faces towards the right. Right. Just pause here. Connect to your breath. Find some space. Looks good. Press down with your right hand. Firm up the right side of your body. So this is how this is going to go. You're going to slide your left arm alongside your body. At the same time, your right knee is going to go the outside of your right tricep. Do it slow. Slide the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Yep. Hug the knee in, elbow towards knee. Try it again. Reach in opposite directions, link your breath. Hug the left elbow to the outside and the right knee to the outside of the arm. Reach in opposite directions, create space. Hug the knee straight in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Take the left palm down, the right knee to the floor. Curl the left toes into the mat. Fire up that thigh. Hip points lift. Good. Float the left leg up. So you do things in steps, especially first thing in the morning. Reach the right arm forward. Just do that much. So you might get here and say, I don't feel like listening to her right now. I'm just going to pause here and be here. This is fine. Create space, create movement, create focus. So this is going to go like this. Right elbow slides alongside the body. At the same time, your left knee is like a dog at a fire hydrant. It's not touching, it's going in that direction. Reach and stretch opposite directions. Flex the foot. Hug the knee into the center, elbow and knee touch like a rounded spine. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Try it again. Elbow to the outside, knee to the outside. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Hug the knee straight in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Let's just do one more. Hug the outer arm in and the knee to the outside. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Last one. Hug the knee in. Create space one last time. Hand and knee to the floor. Curl the toes, lift the hips, dog. Downward facing dog. Feel the sides of your body. Spread your palms wide. You should have gotten a little warm. Let the head go. Bend behind your knees as much as you need. Connect to your breath. Nice. Movement of your shoulders is away from the center line of your body. And if you feel like you need to take your hands a little wider in your down dog, then do that. Let the head go. Move your hips, like breathe your hips up off your shoulders. Let your belly draw in, let your ribs lift, pick a drishti point. Roll forward to plank for me. Stack your body in line nicely. If you need to modify this morning, you drop your knees. You want to feel like you're pulling your shoulders away. Yeah. Contract the thighs. Run a lot of energy from the crown of the head to the base of the heels. Fire up your thighs, press down. Draw your navel in a little bit more. Keep moving your eyes forward. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, support with the knees down. Halfway to a chaturanga. Shoulders do not drop down. Pull your chest through for an up dog or baby cobra. If your lower back feels sensitive this morning, press actively through the tops of the feet and through the palms. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. For the next couple of minutes, we're going to be working from this downward facing dog. So focus on breathing your hips up off your shoulders. Look forward with your eyes. Land your right foot all the way forward and through and drop your knee. Be on your fingertips for a moment. Lead with your chest and make sure that your back left knee is not driving into the mat. It's on a strong angle. You can keep your toes curled, I recommend. Slide the left leg back up and down and flex the foot. Keep your arms reaching forward. Breathe into the back of your right leg. So you may need to have a little bend in that leg. That's fine. You're up and down with your left leg. Your right leg's going as straight as it can, and your arms are active. Rebend the front thigh to a 90-degree angle. Activate your back leg into a low lunge. Plant your palms with your core strength, downward facing dog. Left foot lands, back knee drops. Be on your fingertips. Breathe into the front side of your body as you pull your chest forward. Just be here for a second. Slide your right leg up and down. Let the left leg go as straight as it's going to go for today. Keep your arms reaching forward. So I'm using tented fingertips. Outer arms hugging in. My waist is drawing in, and I'm breathing into that hamstring, which does not feel so happy this morning. Rebend the front thigh. Do it slow. Plant the palms. Activate the right leg. It's strong. Step to a dog. Slide your right foot forward again. Drop the knee. Yes, this time keep the left hand tented or use a block if you know your shoulder's tight. Peel the right arm up. So it's a modified twist with your back knee down. Notice what happens as you begin to twist. Your right knee wants to kind of wing out. So maybe twist a little less and focus on your legs as you grip your right hip in. Stack the shoulders the best that you can. Look up with your eyes. Look down now, place the right hand down. One more time, slide the left leg back up and down and flex the right foot. Breathe into the hamstring. Rebend the front thigh, plant the palms, curl the toes, step to a dog, use your core. Glide your left foot forward, drop your knee. Right hand down, left arm opens into a modified easy twist. Focus on the little things. Hug your left hip underneath you, stack your two shoulders the best that you can. Feel the weight in your left heel. Look down, left hand down. One more time, slide the leg back up and down and flex. It already feels better than just a minute ago. Have some faith that this stuff is going to work. Rebend the front thigh, activate the back leg, plant the palms, step to a dog. Slide your right foot forward and through. Keep the back leg engaged. Float the left leg up, standing split. Keep the hands directly down so they line up with your right toes. You can also slide blocks here. This is why I said to have blocks this morning. You can also wrap your right hand around the back of your right hand around the back of your right ankle and fold here. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips, take a giant step back. Left hand down, right arm open, easy twist. Grip the right hip in, the same way we just did before. Twist from the upper ribs, slide the shoulders down the back. Look down with your eyes, right hand down, step to a dog. Glide your left foot forward and through into a low lunge. Pause for a second. Move your weight forward. If you'd like, you can take your hand around your ankle and float. Back leg up. Only hip height. Let the head go. Standing split. Draw your belly and your torso over the front of the left thigh. Lift from your inner thigh. Soften your shoulders. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Take a giant step back. Take your time. Right hand down, left arm peels, easy twist. Grip the left hip underneath you. Yeah. Activate your back leg. Look down, left hand to the floor. Plant the palms, use your core, downward facing dog. Slide your right foot forward, integrate your legs, come to your fingertips, sweep your arms back, hover. Grip your outer hip in, engage your back leg. Root to rise, crescent lunge. If you get here and it feels wobbly and shaky, that's part of the warm-up process. You can always drop your back knee. Lift your hip points, drive the right heel into the mat, squeeze your inner and outer thighs together. Reach up a little bit more with your fingertips. Sometimes I get lazy and I forget about my arms. So really reach. Hands come down. See if you can do this effortlessly. Downward facing dog. Glide your left foot forward. So it's a big step and it should feel a lot more open than when we started a moment ago. Integrate your legs, reach your arms back. Hug your left hip underneath you. You're doing great. Squeeze the legs, drive the arms up, high lunge. Drop your back knee if it's too much. So your hip points, just reminding you, you want them forward. If you feel like they're dumping down, you're going into your low back. So back out of the pose then. Stretch up with your arms. Look forward with your eyes. And get out of your own way. That's all this is. Breathe. Reach up a little bit more with your arms. When you reach with your arms, try to relax your shoulders though. Hands come down. Seamlessly, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Warrior one. If you have an injury and something going on, then you keep your back heel lifted. Sweep your arms back. Yeah, just come back for a second, Kristen. Lower halfway for me. Steer your right hip back. Ground your right thigh and heel. And then root to rise, warrior one. There you go. Steer the right hip back. Drive the left thigh and the left ribs forward. And just be still here for a moment as you feel the opening in your body. Reach up a little more. Hands come down, right to a dog. I find it easier going from warrior one right to dog. The foot's already set up. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle. Arms reach back, hover for a moment. Yeah, just teaching yourself to like grip that left hip behind you, turn your right thigh and ribs forward, and then press down to come up, warrior one. Sometimes you need to slide your left foot a little bit more forward. Yeah. Keep steering your right side of your body towards the front skinny edge of your mat, and then elevate yourself from the ground. Reach up with your fingers a little more. Connect with your breath. Hands come down. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. With excitement, plank. Let your eyes move forward a little. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself through an up dog. Point your toes. Actively press. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Let the head go. Spread the toes wide. Look to the top of the mat. You can take 2 big steps. If you feel like you can float early on here, go for it. Land lightly, long spine on the inhale, breath. Exhale, fold over your legs. Root to rise, come all the way up. Energetically reach. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. Drop your arms, stand for a moment. Yeah, slide the arms straight up. Look a little up with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine to prepare. You can step, you can float this morning through your vinyasa. You can skip your vinyasa and just meet us in a downward facing dog. It's up to you. When you get to your down dog, exhale all the breath out. Just let your body feel. Plug down, look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Keep the weight a little bit more forward if you can. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. We're just grounding ourselves here. Drop your arms, slide the arms up, look up a little. Dive over bent knees. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through your vinyasa, it's up to you. Pull yourself to an up dog, press the tops of the feet. Take a downward facing dog. Press down a little bit more. Let your eyes move forward to the front edge of your mat. You can step, you can float your feet through to the top. Long spine on the inhale, breath. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms for a second. Stand, contract your thighs, pull your waist up. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Sit into chair. Weight moves back into your heels. Yeah. Lift your torso up a little higher. Create a little natural curve in your spine. Looks good, Betsy. Let your seat just move back. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog should feel good though, just reminding you. Downward facing dog back. Right foot forward. Back foot takes a strong turn for warrior one. So if your back foot is way open, your hip's is gonna be open. Yeah. So you want it pretty much facing forward. Yeah. Hands come down. You have a choice. You can go through your vinyasa, or you can do what we did before, step right back to a dog. Yeah, so it depends how much effort you want to put today. When you get there, slide your left foot forward, turn your back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, be efficient. Vinyasa or right to a down dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. You look good. Press down, look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine right here, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Press all the way up to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer. Just a few more. Drop your arms, slide the arms straight up, look up. Sit again into a chair. Dive over bent legs, forward fold. Long spine to prepare, step, or float through your vinyasa. When you get to your downward facing dog, that's when you'll go right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. Bring it back down to your vinyasa or skip. Left foot lands, back foot on a strong angle. Warrior one. Hands come down, vinyasa. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Spread your palms, activate the sides of your arms. Breathe your hips a little bit more up off your shoulders. Look where you want to go, step or float, feet to the top. Keep going like this. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold, sit into a strong chair, weight moves into your heels. Press all the way up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Here we go, slide the arms up, look up a little, lower your seat into a chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step, step, or float through vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Right foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Hands come down, vinyasa or skip. Left foot forward, keep going. Back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, vinyasa. Upward facing dog point. Downward facing dog back. Yeah, bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Knee down onto your right hand. Find a side plank this morning. Vashisthasana. You can modify, drop your right knee down. This is the modification, guys. You can keep your left leg rooted or floated up. So plenty of options here. If you're going for the traditional way, stack the 2 feet, lift the top arm, and then look up with your eyes. Pay attention to your left hip, that it's not splaying open. It's stacked over your bottom hip. If you want more, top arm can wrap forward. Stay with it. Reach up with your left arm if you took it forward. Look down with your eyes. Very slow transition to a plank. Pause and plank. Keep your eyes moving forward a little. Lean onto your left hand. Go right to the other side. Vashisthasana side plank. So really efficient and effective movements and transitions. Reach up with your right arm. Stack the 2 hips. Spark up your toes. Lift from your waist, from your bottom hip. Maybe the top arm wants to wrap forward. Stay with it. If you wrapped your arm forward, reach it up, look down with your eyes. Slow transition plank. Bend your elbows slowly, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a strong up dog. Point your toes. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. From your downward facing dog, land your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Cartwheel open, warrior two. Yeah, so the idea is like your upper body feels a little tired. You just did a little upper body exercise here. So breathe a lot of energy across your torso. Make sure your right foot is forward. Your left toes have a strong angle. Your body is straight up and down. These look good. Wrap the inner part of your right thigh open. And then close your eyes if you want to. Feel your feet. Feel that subtle grounding. Yeah. And then breathe from the crown of the head all the way through your tailbone as you drop down into the pose more. Watch with that left arm that it's not getting sad on you. Reach a little bit more. Reach out with your right hand, extended side angle A. So A variation, just so you know, goes to the outside of the foot. I always remember that, but B goes on the inside, and that's generally where you bind. Right, we're going A today, outside of foot. If you need an alternative, you can rest your arm on the top of your thigh. This is a nice option. Use a block. Bring the block up high enough that you can really find the posture today. Top arm can wrap forward if you want a little more. Scoop up your ribs, turn them towards the sky. Take your bottom right hip, tuck it underneath you. Yeah. And then wrap the inner part of your right thigh open so you're pressing against the inside of your right arm if your hand is down. If your arm's wrapping forward, straight line of energy from the blade of your left foot all the way through your left fingertips. These look really good. Stay with it. The screen didn't freeze. Yep, you're still in it. If your arm wrapped forward, stretch it up. Anchor your feet and your legs without too much bounce, warrior two. Look forward with your eyes. Circle your hands to the floor, vinyasa. Or skip it if you don't want it. Up dog should feel good though. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Land your left foot forward. Yeah, turn your back foot on a strong angle. Here we are, we're gonna cartwheel open warrior two. Yep, warrior two. Settle into your warrior two. Broaden across the upper torso. If you find your knee kind of turning in, remind yourself to rotate that thigh open. Yeah. Stand up tall. Close your eyes and just embrace the pose here. Lengthen into the posture. Feel the left heel. Feel the strength of your back leg. 3 more breaths. All about the space. Reach out in front of you, extended side angle A. So whatever you did on the right side, we try and recreate that on the left. So do your best. Obviously, if it doesn't work, don't beat yourself up. Slide the right arm up or wrap it forward. Press the outside of the left leg into the inside of the left arm. Tuck your left hip underneath you more and turn your bottom ribs towards the sky. Press to the outer blade of your right foot as you ground that leg. Reach more with your right hand. Stay with it. Last few breaths is when we generally want to give up. So see what you can find here to just breathe through the feeling. Right arm up without too much bounce. Bring your block with you. Warrior two. Yeah, if you have your hand on a block, just bring it with you. Straighten your left leg. Bring your toes in. So you're facing this way. Right. Right foot's going to turn out to the back skinny edge of your mat. Left foot's going to turn in. If you know you need a block for triangle or half moon, just set it up here for you. Reach across your body. Find your right hand to your right shin. So all you did was pick up your feet and pivot to the back edge of your mat. Your right hand is down on your shin or a block. Grip your outer hips underneath you. Slide the left arm up and then look up with your eyes. Nice, really nice. Yeah, and you can have as much bend in front of that front leg to make the pose feel good. You can have a tighter stance. You can have a longer stance. Look down with your eyes, keeping your right foot and your right hip grounded. Float to your half moon. And use your block if you need it. Yeah. Float up, float the left leg, energetically reach the left arm if you can, or your hand can just stay on your hip the entire time. Look up with your eyes if you can. That's the most challenging part. aside from keeping your right foot forward. Grip your right hip underneath you, spark up your left toes. Maybe lighten the bottom hand. So when I say that, come to maybe 4 fingers or 3 fingers or 2 fingers, or maybe bring your right hand into a prayer. Keep everything very long, okay? The transition is slow. Very, very slowly step back to triangle pose. Move your block with you if you need it. Triangle pose. Yeah, so if you used your block, just grab it and pull yourself up. Good. And the same thing goes. Just pivot your right foot in, turn your left foot out, move your block into your left hand. Make sure your left foot's completely forward and then slide the block down or just grab the shin, triangle pose. This is one of my most favorite ways to practice, by the way, where you kind of just flow from right to left. And you make it, even though sometimes it doesn't feel effortless, make it feel as effortless as possible. Remember, you're not going into a back bend here. A little twist with your ribs. Anyone with kids soccer players, this is the pose the kids should be doing because it's lengthening the side body. It's stretching the hamstrings. Yeah. Feeling your feet on the floor. Finding space in the upper torso. Good. Stay for another breath or two. So remember, the transition is almost its own pose. Look down, keep your left foot forward, float up to your half moon, keep it close to the ground. Use a block if you need to. Focus on the standing left leg. Maybe the right hand needs to come to your hip. For balance, slide the right arm up. Look up a little more with your eyes if you can. Grip your left hip underneath you. Spark up your right toes. And then once you get to the pose and you feel like you want to work today, rather than going immediately to that Chopasana, let's work on the bottom hand. Work on getting a little lighter. Maybe 3 fingers, maybe 2 fingers, maybe hand to prayer. Anticipate falling, it's okay. Stay with it. Good, focus on the standing left leg. Very slow transition, triangle pose. Move the block with you if you used it. Slide the right arm up, look up with your eyes. Good work. Let your top arm pull you up. You can move the block with you if you want. Bring your hands to your hips, pivot your toes in, pivot your right foot forward, and then just step to the top of the mat. Just move your block to the top of the mat and just come to a standing position at the top of your mat. Standing on your left leg now, hug your right knee to your navel. So 2 options today, and I'm turning towards you so you can see. Crisscross at your wrist, and you're gonna grab below the knee. Kind of like this. Or crisscross at your wrist, grab below the base of the foot. Now this may be as much as you can do. Yeah, and if you can't figure out the crisscross, just bag it and just, come up with something that works. But draw the knee towards the chest. And what I want you to focus on today is standing up really tall. Focus on that standing left leg. Now, as you do this, lengthen your tailbone, draw your shoulders back. Yeah, keep your neck long. This may be as much as you're doing. Or if you like, you can start to hinge the leg forward. Don't anticipate that the leg's gonna go pin straight today. Drop the right hip down. Good. Breathe into the sides of your arms and the side of your right leg and the inner part of your right thigh. Stand up a little taller. The leg can have as much of a bend in it. Mine is not nearly straight. Don't worry about it. Take the leg, rebend it. Keep the leg where it is. Slide the arms up. Draw the belly in. Lower the right foot down. Bring the hands to prayer. Stand up strong on your right leg. So it's a lot of core. I want you to really engage the belly and get over the idea of having pin straight legs. Draw the left knee in. Find some sort of crisscross here at the base of the knee, or grab below the base of the foot. Hug in. So your right leg may have a little tiny bend. Soften the shoulders, draw the navel in. And then if you'd like, you can try and breathe a little energy into the standing leg as you hinge the left leg forward. Now my nature is that my hip wants to lift, so drop the left hip. And as I do that, I don't want to lean all the way forward. Breathe right here, a few more. Rebend the legs slow. Use your core. Slide the arms up. Don't let the leg drop yet. Lower the left foot. Hands to prayer. Good work. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Look up big. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float, however you want to move your energy here. Chaturanga or not. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Land your right foot forward into a crescent lunge. Bring your arms up. Have some blocks at the top of the mat. You'll definitely need it. Wrap your arms forward, okay? Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Lift your elbows up. If this is unavailable for you today, hands can just be in a prayer, okay? Focus on your standing right leg. We're going into eagle, if you couldn't tell. Float the left leg around. It may not be the prettiest transition. Try your best. Outer thighs working here. Bend into the standing right leg. Lift your elbows up. Stick your butt back. Stay very upright like this, or if you like to move into a sleeping eagle, some version of that, start to drape your torso down. Maybe your elbows come and hook over the front of your knee. Weight stays in your heel. Keep steering your seat back. Left hip back, right hip forward. Yeah. Keep the legs this way. Just bring your chest up a little bit. You're gonna stay very close to the ground. We're gonna unravel into a warrior three. So if you need blocks, you're gonna do that. You can unravel your hands and just bring them to a prayer. Yeah, or your hands can just come down. Back leg strong. Yeah, your hands could just be down. This is why I said have blocks here if your balance doesn't feel great this morning. Yeah, it's totally fine. And then you work. Maybe you can bring your hands to prayer. You have to bend into the standing right leg a little, grip your right hip in. Left hand's gonna come down to the ground. Right arm's gonna extend up into a revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand can also be on the flat part of your back. So think warrior three, adding a little twist. Yeah. And then look a little right as you lift from your inner thigh. I always keep my hand here to start because I can feel if my low back is neutral. Yeah. And then maybe my right arm this morning doesn't feel so great, so I'm not gonna even bring it up. Yeah, stay with it. Keep the spine very long, and as you look right, lengthen through the crown of your head. Move your eyes to the floor, right hand comes down. Slide your feet together. You're not gonna like me very much, but sit into a chair pose. Yep, chair pose, stick with it. It's a good strong flow. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn to the right. Yeah, move the weight into your heels. Keep your torso very lifted. And then always, I tell you every class, look down, check out your alignment. Open up your arms if you want more. If you want to work into a side crow today, you can do that. This would be a good time to do it. If you want to just work on side crow prep, I'll show you what to do. You'll come down nice and low. You'll hook the elbow and you'll just twist, standing on your toes. Wherever you are, stay with it. If you're flying or you're in this little prep pose, lower your heels down, meet us in a chair twist. Pull around to a chair, look forward. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale, breath. Step or float through your vinyasa. As you move through your up dog, really enjoyed that. Yeah, nice. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Exhale all your breath out, and then go ahead and step your left foot forward. Have your blocks at the top if you know you needed them. Rise, crescent lunge. Bring your arms straight forward, not your whole torso, just your arms. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Remember the option of hands in prayer, that's totally acceptable. Lift the elbows up. Sit deep into your front thigh. Remember, transitions are key, so see if you can float seamlessly into your eagle pose. Wrap the leg around and then move your seat back. And if it didn't work out so great, you kind of can laugh out loud a little and then just move on. Right hip back, left hip forward, elbows up. Drive the left heel into the mat, stick your butt back. Add the sleeping part of this if you feel like you got more out of it. As you come forward, hook the elbows over the front of the right knee. Squeeze the lower half of the body super tight. Lift your torso up just 2 inches. Start to unravel into warrior 3. I'm going to use the blocks as I show you here. Warrior 3 with blocks, without blocks, if you feel that your balance was able to sustain that. Yeah, nice. Really nice work, everybody. Lift from the inner right thigh. So keep your pelvis neutral, keep the right hand down, and begin to move into your revolved Ardha. Hand can stay on the flat part of your back. Bend a little into the standing leg. Lift from your inner thigh. Let your shoulders draw down your back. Lengthen your waist. Nice, Kristen. Breathe into the back hamstring. Lift up a little higher. Look down with your eyes. Left hand to the floor. Feet land together. Sit one more time, chair pose. Let's make it count. Hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow. Twist to the left. Check out that alignment. Make sure it's set up for you. That's the nitty gritty. We get in there. And then if you want to work on your side crow today, remember your arms are going to come down. Your front leg, your left leg is going to rest on the front of your right arm and you'll float. If you just want to work on the prep like I'm showing here, stand on your tippy toes, hook the elbow and twist. Try to keep your seat off your heels. Squeeze your legs together. If you're flying or twist prepping here, lower your heels, meet us in a chair twist. Keep the legs strong and engaged. Pull around here, chair pose. I lied last time, I swear. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Hook your big toes. Yeah, get a solid grip here. If this doesn't work out for you this morning, grab the front of your shins. Inhale your breath, bend your knees, look forward, create a little arch in your upper back, and then open your elbows and fold. Let the head go. Move more weight forward into the balls of your feet, and you're gonna feel a lot more through the back side of your body. Good. Come to the fingertips, long spine. From here, just step your left foot back, big step. Drop your back knee. Yeah. With the back knee resting on an angle, toes can stay curled here, arms reach up. So it's kind of how we started. Hands come to prayer. Inhale the breath, lean out in front of you a little bit, hook the elbow and twist with the back knee down today. I sometimes feel like it's okay when the teacher tells you, take this pose with your back knee down. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start with my knee down and I'm gonna explore the posture right here. And then if you feel like you have a little bit more energy, then you can go ahead and lift the kneecap up, but hug the hips in, Lean back a little with your torso. Open up your arms if you want more. So it's up to you how much you want to give in this. Scissor the outer hip under you. Yeah. Feel the weight in your heel. Looks good, Betsy. Lean back a little bit. Get the crown of your head in line with your back left heel. That's the goal. Want to take the round out of our back. Look down, place both hands to the floor. If your knee is lifted, drop it. Meet us back here. So like we did before, move your block with you. You're going to need it. Slide the leg back, okay? Use the block to the instep. Find a direction where your hand and your shoulder match up. So it's going to be different for everybody. If you can go directly down to the floor, that's fine. I just want you to be careful of your shoulder here. Hug your right hip in. Yeah, stack the right arm up and then look up. Flex your toes. The more you flex the toes, the more of an IT band stretch you're going to get. So anyone that runs or just basically, you know, walks or lives life is going to feel something here. Yeah. Breathe. Good. Look down. Take the right hand down. So as you do this here, rebend the front thigh, curl the toes into the mat, plant the hands, swing your right leg back and through to a three-legged down dog. Flex the foot. So like we did early in the practice, roll forward to plank, take your right knee towards your right tricep, just in the general direction. Press firmly through your right leg, up and back, three-legged down dog, but try not to fling your leg. Engage your core. Round, come forward, hug your right knee one more time in. Land your right knee forward for a half pigeon, thank gosh. Come forward here and just melt. 60 seconds in this pose. We will enjoy it. Allow yourself to just get lost in the pose and the breath. Pull your torso up. Keep the right leg where it is. Open your hips. I hope you could figure this out from watching the Zoom, but you're going to square your hips off a little bit. So my front leg is like in a like half supta baddha, and my left leg is in a frog, and I'm sitting upright. And then I'm going to fold here, so it's a little bit different of a hip opener. If you're close to a wall, it's going to be hard. Yeah, we've done this in the studio, if you can remember what that was like. So your left leg is bent kind of in a 90-degree angle, and your right leg's in a half butterfly. And then you're creeping forward in some forward fold. So just depending on how this feels for you. Good. Start to pull your torso up. Pivot yourself back forward. Curl the toes into the mat. Step to a downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank if you feel like you need it. Chaturanga if you feel like you need another one. Upward facing, point your toes. Nice work. Downward facing dog back. Land your left foot forward. Drop your back knee. Curl the toes into the mat and slide the thigh back. Reach the arms up, supported lunge. Hands come to prayer. Track your left knee over your left ankle. Lean out in front of you, hook the elbow and twist. Give yourself permission to keep that back knee down today if you feel like this is where you need to be. If you want to engage the thigh and lift the kneecap, activate from your hamstring and your glute. Lean back a little here. Let the crown of the head line up with your back right heel. Open up your arms if you want more. Stay with the breath. Hug in. Two more. Look down with your eyes, take both hands to the floor. So like we did earlier on, straighten out the leg, straighten out your left leg. You're gonna take the block directly underneath your right shoulder, stand up and down with your leg, right hand down, left arm open. So it's an IT band stretch. You have to find the position of the block underneath the right shoulder that works for you. And sometimes if it's up too high, you're not gonna get it. So you might need to just drop it down a little lower. Scissor the outer left hip in, yeah. Look down, place both hands to the floor, move your block to the side, rebend the left leg, curl the right toes into the mat. Plant the palms, and like we did earlier on, slide the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Square and neutralize the pelvis, scissor the inner thighs, and make sure your arms are grounded. Point the toes, come forward, drag your left knee to the outside of your left tricep in the general direction. Left leg floats up and back, press firmly through the foot and the thigh, don't fling the leg. One more time, you can point the toes, hug the knee straight in. Land the left foot forward, left knee forward and through, half pigeon on the left side. Fold yourself down. So you can stay as you are if you're getting the most from this, or pull yourself up. You kind of have to move your leg out a little. The right leg, if you can see from behind here, is going into a half frog. My left leg's in a half Supta Baddha Konasana, and then I'll fold. I have the fireplace here, so I can't go too deep. And you find an angle that works for you. Like my mom's over here and she's out a little on the side. I may be able to come down a little bit more in the center. You're looking for like an outer and inner thigh hip stretch. Yeah, and you kind of have to work with it a little. Maybe the left leg needs to come in a little bit more and this right thigh can slide back. That actually gave me a little bit more. Good. Start to press yourself up. Swing yourself around. You're just going to land on your butt here. Yes, and you're going to lay down. When you get to the floor, we're going to set up for bridge. Yeah, bridge pose, supported bridge. Or if you feel like you're ready just to go for a full wheel, I'm not at all going to stop you. So you do what you need here. If you'd like to use a block, I'll show you how to set that up. Fingertips skim the backs of your heels, your tailbone lifts. There's a cupping of your shoulder blades, everyone. You can interlace your hands. You can stay with this. This is the traditional way. You can also kind of robot your arms and use the back of the triceps to ground down. If you like to use the block, find the appropriate distance. Make sure the block does not dig into your lower back. It's on the flat part here. Set yourself up here and then lift from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Keep the neck neutral. Thighs drive forward, feet drive forward. If you're going straight up, remember to move on the exhale breath. Let's see where everybody is. Good. So most of you are in more of a restorative, which is fine. So if you'd like, you could start to exhale the breath out, lower down, and we're just going to try this one more time. So you're going to do it the next set, exactly what you just did, or flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. You don't have to go here if it doesn't feel good. Exhale the breath, lift yourself up. You can just repeat what you just did, or full wheel. When you come up to a full wheel though, remember to breathe from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Great job. These look fabulous. Right, so you don't feel like you're jamming your lower back to the sky. Straighten out your feet. Nice, Dara. Really nice work. Exhale the breath. When you're ready, you start to come out the same way you went in. And when you hit your lower back down to the ground, Hug your knees to your chest. It feels good. Give them a giant squeeze in. Yeah. And for today, separate your feet the width of the mat. Yeah, the width of your mat. Knock your knees. You have to move a little on there because the wall's closed. Lift your hips to the left with your feet wide. Drop your knees over to the right. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. Yeah. Open up your arms like cactus arms and breathe here. My right foot is flexed on top of my left thigh. Come up to center, relax the right foot. Try this on the other side if you got confused. Take your feet wide, lift your hips up, take them over to the right 2 inches, drop your knees over to the left. Take your bottom left foot, cross it over your right thigh. Open up your arms. Come up to center. Lower your feet. For today's finish, before you move into Shavasana, I'd like to take 1 minute of an inversion with your legs up. I want to take supported shoulder stand. Unless you have a very strong headstand practice, I'd like to go for the wall. Set up kind of like you're going to supported bridge. Block's going to go underneath you. Support yourself here. Interlace your hands. Float your right leg up and then your left leg up. Close your eyes. Make sure your thighs are directly over your hips. Yeah, these look really good. Twenty more seconds. See if you can resist the sensation of wanting to come down. If your hands are clasped around the block, what you should do is just let go of that hand clasp. Let the palms just drop down. Bend your knees slowly in half. Then slowly, 1 foot at a time, lower your feet to the floor. Once your feet get down, very slowly lift your low back up off the block, and then very slowly moving that block out. When your low back hits the ground, take a breath in, take a breath out, and then slide your legs out into Shavasana, complete rest. And let yourself just go. No breathing here that needs to be set, just normal. Close your eyes and drift into the ground. Take a deep breath in. Take a loud sigh breath out. Start to come back unless you don't have to. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Rock yourself up to a seated position if and when you're ready. Sit up nice and tall. And just feel today's practice. We did a lot in a little bit of time. Have some gratitude for yourself. Bring your hands to prayer, bow your head. And then together we can lift our head, open our eyes.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks for joining me, guys. See you next time.